Now that we have the basic outline of our model, which are our 1, 2, 3, 4 walls plus our slab, we're going to look at how it is that we can calculate the stair height. And in this case, we're going to pretend that we already have an existing second floor plane that is established that we cannot change. So to do that, what I'm going to first do is I'm going to take my tape measure and I'm going to pull a guide out and I'm going to just go 8 feet, enter, off of the back. And this is not exactly these. I'm not using the exact dimensions from the homework for these videos. I just want to show you, how it's done and how I would do it. And in the homework, you can obviously read along and apply the exact dimensions. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a rectangle here. And in this case, I'm going to make it like it's a raised floor. I'm not going to make a full second story because we've made a relatively small box here. So I double click on this and I'm going to make it a group. And I double click to open it up. And I'm going to push pull this up into space. And I'm going to type in 6'3", enter. So I have an existing space that is 6'3" higher than the ground floor. Now, how do I figure out how many stairs I need, and how do I figure out exactly how high those stairs have to be in order to make this work? Well, we know that the average stair height, or the typical stair height, is 7'11". So if you were making a new building from scratch, you would stick to the 7 inches. 7 inches rise by 11 inches tread. So you would know that you would stick to that height and you would make your second floor based on that dimension. But if you have an existing space that you need stairs to go up to, what you need to do is you need to find a height that is basically or almost close to 7, plus or minus 7. So I'm going to use my calculator here, and what I know is I've got 6'3". So the first thing I need to do is break this down into inches. So I'm going to go 6 times 12 inches equals. So I've got 72. So 72 inches and 6 feet plus my extra 3 inches. So that equals 75. So now what I want to do is I want to divide 75 by 7 because 7 is my ideal rise height. So what I get there is I get 10.71 and then a bunch of change. So for our purposes, 10.71 is going to equal 11. So I'm going to write down here on my little notepad that I need to have 11 steps to get me to the very top. So I need 11 rise. So now that I know that I need 11 steps, what I can do is I can go back to my original 75 and I can divide that by 11. And what I get is 6.81. So 6.81, I'm going to write that number down as well, is going to be my stair height. Okay? So what I'm going to do to start, just to get my first stair going, is I'm going to get my tape measure, and I'm going to pull a guide out, and I'm going to make this staircase 4 feet wide. And I'm just going to start in this corner. We're going to move the stairs afterwards, but first thing I do is I click on this point, and I'm just going to go 11, enter, because I can control that. So go ahead and select my rectangle tool, click from point to point, go to my select tool, double click on that, right click and make that a group, and double click to open it up, go to my push pull, and pull that up, and I'm going to type in 6.81, enter. So this is my typical stair height throughout. Now I know that I've got 1 stair. I need 10 more stairs. So in order to make the copies here, I'm going to use my move tool. And this is kind of what we did in the homework 1. I'm getting nice and close. I start with the end point of the bottom corner of the step. I hit my copy button. I bring it up to the top corner of the step and click. And then I type in times 10, enter. Now I can pull back, and I can see that I've successfully made it all the way to the top, and that the top matches up. I mean, if you get really, really close, it's going to be slightly off because we've got that series of fractions all the way down into the multiple levels. But for our purposes, this is going to work just fine. So I'm going to zoom way out here, and I'm going to make myself a little landing. So I'm going to make my landing come about, let's make it 5 feet out. So I'm going to go to my tape measure tool, and I'm going to draw a tape, 5 feet, enter. Then I'm going to select this to open it up. I'm going to take my line tool and draw a line straight down like that. And I'm going to push-pull this landing out until it meets the stairs. Click. Now I'm going to click out in space, using my select tool and dragging using the select from right to left so that I'm only selecting what's completely captured within this select tool. I'm going to select the stairs, and I'm going to make these stairs a group. So I'm going to right click. So now what I've done is I've taken the entirety, I've got my 11 little groups, all of them are steps, and they're all grouped within one big group. So I'm going to use my move tool to finalize this and just drag this over, holding my shift down until I get to that final point, and I'm going to click. Click out in space, and I'm done.